Welcome, my lovely listeners, to another episode of History Unwind, the podcast where we take history's most mind-numbing moments and sprinkle them with a generous dash of humor. I'm your host, the one and only Jorge, your guide through time, laughter, and today some freezing and awkward Finnish handshakes. Buckle up, because today we're diving into Finland's history, a story packed with more twists and turns than a moose on ice skates. So grab your vodka, or if you're underage or driving, maybe just a hot chocolate, and let's get this party started. Picture these. It's 1809 and Finland is caught in the middle of what I like to call the world's worst divorce settlement between Sweden and Russia. Sweden loses the custody battle and Finland ends up with a new, overly enthusiastic step-parent, Russia, led by the charming Alexander I. And just like any classic step-parent relationship, things start off very weird. Finland becomes an autonomous Grand Duchy within the Russian Empire, which sounds fancy until you realize it's just a polite way of saying, welcome to the Empire, you're free to do whatever you want as long as it's exactly what we tell you. But let's rewind a bit to the Swedish era. Sweden and Finland were like that couple everyone thought will stay together forever. I mean, they had matching IKEA furniture and everything. All good things must come to an end. And in 1809, the Swedes had to pack their ABBA records and bid Finland adieu. Fast forward to 1812, and Alexander I decides to throw in the Russian province of Vyborg into Finland's cart like it's some sort of buy one get one free deal. Here, have a bonus city, you will love it, I promise. Now, by the mid-1800s, Finland was just trying to mind his own business, maybe write a few poems, when suddenly the Crimean War happens. And guess who's dragging to the drama? Yep, our good friend Finland. The British and French navies decide to swing by, bombing the Finnish coast and Åland like they were just there for a casual summer barbecue. Despite all these chaos, the Finnish people were like, do you know what? We're done being the empire's doormats. Enter the phenomenon movement. No. That's not the latest superhero franchise. It's the nationalist movement led by J.V. Snellman, a guy so passionate about Finland, he probably had Finnish pride tattooed on his chest. Thanks to Snellman and his squad, the Finnish language started gaining recognition. By 1892, Finnish was legally equal to Swedish, and the national epic, the Kalevala, was published. Imagine that, an old book of Finnish myth and legends, which is basically like if Tolkien decided to move to Finland and write Lord of the Rings in a sauna. But let's not get too cozy, because right around the corner was the Finnish famine of 1866 to 1868. And no, this wasn't just, there's nothing in the fridge kind of famine. This was the real deal. Crops ruined, people starving, and a disaster that wiped out 15% of the population.
Oh.
That's like losing your entire Facebook friends list in one go. The famine did have one silver lining though. It made the Russian Empire realize, hey, maybe we should stop treating Finland like the weird cousin we only see at holidays. So they loosened the financial leash and Finland's economy started to grow, like a tiny pine tree in the middle of a snowstorm. But just when things were looking up, Russia decided it was time for some classic Russification. Think of it like Finland's autonomy getting slowly squashed under a big fluffy Russian bear. Sure, there was universal suffrage introduced in 1906, but it was pretty much a fake moustache on a dictator's face. Looked good, but fooled no one. By the time Nicholas II, the last Tsar of Russia, issued the February Manifesto in 1899, Finland had had enough. The Finns were like, okay, we didn't want to be Swedish, we don't want to be Russian, so how about we just be Finns? And that's how the seeds of independence were planted. a little revolution here, a pinch of nationalism there, and voila, you've got a recipe for independence. And there you have it, folks. From being Sweden's favorite winter gateway to Russia's rebellious teen, Finland's journey to independence was anything but smooth. It was more like a bumpy sled ride down a hill with too much vodka and not enough common sense. So next time you're cold and sipping on some glug, remember that Finland's history is as rich and flavorful as that mulled wine in your cup. Minus the headaches, of course. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoy this historical roller coaster, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review and tell your friends. That's very important. This is Jorge signing off from History Unwind. Stay warm, stay curious, and as always, keep laughing.